Good morning, everyone. My name is Shannon Pruitt. I am the Global Chief Marketing Officer of Stagwell Brand Performance Network, and I'm very excited today to be joined by Kristine Bill, Head of Marketing and Sales for Better Collective.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon.
Yeah, welcome. We are here at Sport Beach at the Cannes Lion Festival of Creativity. It's such an exciting time to be here this week. I'm so glad you could join me. Thank you. And I think it'd be great, just to kind of socialize everyone into what is Better Collective, and maybe just a little bit about your role there.
Yeah, so I'm excited to be here. It's my first time in Cannes, so thank you.
Welcome.
So Better Collective is a global digital sports media company. Most people probably haven't heard of Better Collective, though, so might be more familiar with some of our hero brands like Playmaker, Action Network, Bull of VIP in Latin America, Footbin, which is really big in the UK and some European countries. So we have a handful of digital assets that we're really leaning into some of those hero brands a little bit more, where previously it was very scattered across just many, many websites and apps that they acquired. So Better Collective over the years has acquired like 36 different companies and websites and such. So we're really trying to focus in on what those hero ones are right now. So my role is relatively new because of all of the acquisitions over the years. Previously, Better Collective was pretty siloed, where they would acquire a company, and which was nice when I came from Playmaker HQ. So when we got acquired, it was about 2 years where we were still operating fully as we were prior to that, just with extra resources and the backing of Better Collective. But now we're trying to consolidate, get a little more efficient. So I was overseeing all marketing efforts on the Playmaker HQ side. And if you're not familiar with Playmaker HQ, we have athlete-led podcasts with Shaquille O'Neal, with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, Angel Reese, Marshawn Lynch. So handful of well-known athletes, which is great.
They sound familiar.
You might know a couple of them.
You might have heard of these people.
So I was seeing, overseeing our marketing and events, and we were really leaning in at Better Collective on the US side. And so I was brought into more of a global position to do the same thing and kind of start that process for a lot of our assets that have not been monetized as well as they should be. So really starting to do a little bit more of the direct ad sales rather than just programmatic for some of these.
Are you finding, we're here at Sport Beach, right? Sport has taken over Cannes, in case you didn't know. And, we have lots of athletes here, and a lot of them are here thinking about not their performance on the field or the court or the pitch or whatever. They're here to think about their businesses and the brands they're building as individuals, as companies. How are you finding their use of Playmaker, for example? Audio, video. How's that kind of world coming together?
Yeah, so when we're looking at what athletes make sense, it's kind of twofold. Like, they need to be interested in a podcast, but we also need to feel like they are committed and want to become a name in media. Yeah. Not everyone is like that. Some really just do care about their performance, and and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, of course.
And then you have others that they want more than that, or they're focusing on building something that they can do after their career. So I think it's really important when athletes do come to events like this and can start building their brand. And we really look for athletes that want to tell their own story. Yeah. We give them a platform to share their own narrative versus just allowing the media to run with what they want to run with. So I think it is really important.
Yeah. Are you finding, again, in a world of like so much choice, right? How are you so then let's go to the audience, right? Like, how are the audiences, discovering, engaging, spending time, in your, you obviously have a significantly large ecosystem, which, you're relatively new at having all of these things to play with. So if you're future casting a little bit, like, how do you envision audiences being able to, discover, engage, and spend time across your portfolio?
Yeah, Playmaker started as a very social first brand. I think that's how a lot of people got to know them. They were just posting a lot of sports content, organically grew to over several million followers, and that at that time, not even including YouTube.
Yeah.
So that was just really organic on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So once we started launching these podcasts, we are very video first at a time where I think a lot of media agencies were still prioritizing audio. So there's a little bit of re-education when we started of like, we promise you're going to get more exposure if you lean into video, just trust us. So when we start these new, because all of our shows have their own handles.
Sure.
And we are starting from scratch, but we've kind of figured out that organic formula, especially if we have someone where they do have a good following themselves already and we can get them to really buy in and promote.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with athletes and even retired athletes is they do have that platform already. So it makes it a little bit easier. People know their name, so we can really lean into that. We've established a great network of other partners that will, help share our clips and get them out there as well.
Yeah.
And it also helps when we have athletes that say things that the media picks up naturally that we don't have to do anything with.
Yeah.
I think in 2024, we had over $25 million in earned media value from our podcast for
That's
partners.
Amazing. Yeah. That's incredible.
So that definitely helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, earned media is the best kind of media, I think, right? Yeah. Just pro tip. So it's your first time in Cannes.
It is.
What are you, so obviously this is also your first time at Sport Beach, so excited that you could join us.
Yeah.
What are you excited about around being here?
A little bit of everything. I mean, the weather is beautiful, so I think that's
warm.
It's
warm.
No, I think just the scene of all of this, like seeing how lively the beach is incredible. And just I think the quality of people that show up to this is awesome. So it's just, I'm excited. I don't really know what to expect, so we'll see where we go.
Yeah, I think that's for, this is my 10th Cannes, but I think in the spirit of like serendipity and, what kind of can unfold. And I think for you, I think the focus as well, like being here in Sport Beach is probably also like really great. And Matt's here, the CEO. So I'm super thrilled that you could join us. Okay, final question, which is, you have been with Playmaker, but you have now some other businesses that you're getting to play with.
Yeah.
What are you really excited to sort of think about as kind of the future of Better Collective and what's possible?
Yeah, I'm excited I think there's so much potential with a handful of our kind of flagship brands that have not gotten the love and attention that they deserve because we've had so many other assets and just spread ourselves too thin. So I'm really excited. I think Playmaker is a brand, because it is athlete-led content, we can easily scale that to other regions outside of just the US.
Yeah.
So that's something we're working on right now, where especially with the World Cup coming up, we're looking at Brazil as our next market. So I think there's a lot we can do. And then some of our other flagship brands as well on the sports betting side. We have a lot coming up with Action Network, which we can't talk about quite yet, but when it gets closer to
I love
the
a good
season,
teaser in an interview.
So I think there's a lot of potential for some of our flagship brands coming up.
Well, I mean, so next year we're planting the seed for what we're gonna be able to talk about. Also, I mean, globalization, right? Huge opportunity. This is a global event. Also, globalization of gaming and obviously playing a huge role in also the proliferation of sport and athletes and all the things. So I'm thrilled that you could join me. I also think it's a slightly different angle on like what we often end up talking about in here, right? But huge ecosystem, incredible company. So lovely to spend time with you. Thank you for joining me. And thank you to everybody out there for watching. We're on LinkedIn and YouTube. And please continue to watch all the content from Stagwell at Sport Beach 2025.